Imagine for a moment you're 16, it's a summer Friday night, and your dad finally agreed to let you take the old Mustang out on your date tonight. Now the date starts off normal, dinner with a girlfriend, and then out for a cruise along Main Street. Later on, you find some friends who just won't let you live down that you're driving an old Mustang. They say your Mustang can't keep up with their newer Camaros. There's no way. So you think, why not? You find a strip of land right outside of town, set an endpoint, line them up and let them loose. What could possibly go wrong? It's just an innocent little race. Next thing you know, the front tires hit a pothole and you try to recover the steering. The next thing you know, you're waking up in a hospital bed, the lone survivor of that wreck. Your best friend and your girlfriend have both just died in that wreck, and you've been in a coma for the past 3 weeks. Now, many people say that street racing is reckless. I would never do that on the street. But answer me these questions. Have you ever sped up over the speed limit, even if for just a moment, to pass someone in front of you? Or have you ever left the stoplight in a little bit of a hurry because you needed in front of the person in the next lane? If you answered yes to either of these questions, then by law, you have been in an illegal street race. To better understand street racing, we'll look at many things, some statistics, as well as the legal consequences you could be in. Now, one would presume that statistics would be something that would be relatively easy to find. That is not the case in this situation. There is no database that contributes to accidents, fatalities, or crashes associated with street racing. With it gaining more and more media attention, is it something that should be kept in the database? Should it be monitored more closely? That's a question that's on many minds, something they're trying to work at this point. The statistics I can share at this point is the total number of deaths associated with an automobile crash. In 2013, the NHTSA, or National Highway Traffic and Safety Administration, reported that there were 30,000 fatalities from an automobile crash, the second lowest year since they started reporting back in '94, with 2011 being the lowest year with only 190 fewer fatalities. Obviously, there weren't 30,000 deaths in 2013 from street racing, but just imagine how much lower that number could be if street racing wasn't a factor. Statistics alone aren't enough information to truly understand one certain topic. Let's compare street racing, which is illegal, to its legal counterpart, drag racing. Now, many would say that the only difference between the two would be the location. One's on a street, the other at a track. Unfortunately, that is but one of many differences among the two. In street racing, there's often no rules, no safety regulations. The only rule, if you will, is the designated endpoint. Spectators are usually on the streets in close proximity, just so they can get a better view of who really won the race. Most street racers prefer to have their race either in the country or at night for better privacy, so no one can see what they're doing. But this puts them at a greater risk as they're farther away from rescue and EMT services that could potentially help them. They also put unknowing spectators and drivers at risk. Now, drag racing, on the other hand, has many rules and stipulations. If your car runs above a certain speed, you have to have special roll cages and safety equipment that must be inspected. You also have to have helmets, fire suits, all sorts of safety equipment that must pass a mandatory inspection, or you cannot race. If you go over a speed and you don't have the stuff you need, you're done. They shut you down. There are walls, guardrails, and fences to keep the spectators safe, just in case something should happen. Now, that's not to say something won't happen. Accidents happen at the track. It's part of racing. That is why each driver and spectator that comes to the track must sign a waiver stating they know the risks that they are partaking in. To better understand why people still prefer the streets to the track, let's look at some of the influences involved. As stated earlier, there's no database to record any statistics about drag racing at this point yet, but many researchers and law enforcement personnel state that since the Fast and the Furious series movies have come out, there has been a steady increase in drag racing. These movies depict street racers in fast vehicles performing very elaborate stunts that would be dangerous for even the most skilled of drivers to perform. The Fast and the Furious series, as well as the Street Outlaw series, and many law enforcement eyes, only shine the limelight on drag racing, showing kids and teens that it's the cool thing to do. Nothing's gonna happen. What could happen? I mean, is it really that illegal as so many celebrities and TV shows depict it? When people think of street racing and celebrity endorsement, they think of Paul Walker. Paul Walker was a famous cast member of the Fast and the Furious series who died in a fiery crash due to street racing. But everyone said, don't mourn him. He died what he loved doing. But that's just it. He died. It's something you can never come back from. The world has lost an amazing person because of it. Remember the story I was telling you about in the beginning? Let's go back to it and think of a few things that you didn't think of when you were performing your innocent little street race. Not only do you now have countless medical bills piling up, but you've got the legal aspect of things to start worrying about. You not only totaled one, but two vehicles in this crash. And since it was part of illegal street racing, insurance has not only denied to pay any and all claims, but you have been dropped as a member. So now you've got the struggle of trying to find an insurance agent who will take you. You also helped cause a fatal crash that killed 2 people. There are repercussions from that. Not only are you getting tickets for street racing, exhibition of speed, and reckless driving, you could also face criminal charges for vehicular manslaughter. You could also have your license suspended, revoked, or restricted if you're allowed to keep it. The Columbia Encyclopedia defines automobile racing as a sport in which specialty designed or modified vehicles race on any of various courses. Any various course could mean the track, a stoplight, a county road, anything you can drive on. Maybe if we can help teach the younger generations not only the legal consequences of things, but help them see that just because our culture shines the limelight on it, maybe we can help show them that it's not okay. Show them that it is illegal and somebody is going to get hurt.